Whales are remarkable creatures, and they play a really important role in our ecosystem. But many whale species are now endangered. The North Atlantic right whales are among the most endangered, actually critically endangered. According to the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, there are only approximately 336 remaining on the planet. One of the main reasons is, well, they're getting hit by ships. But now there is a new project underway to help save some of these whales. Robotic buoys are being deployed to protect the whales and keep ships out of their path. Joining Morning Rush right now is Mark Baumgartner. He's a senior scientist and marine ecologist at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute who helps operate these buoys. Now, Mark, thank you for being with us today. Tell us first, how do these things work and how do they protect the whales?
Sure. We've developed technology to detect the presence of the whales by listening for them. You can apply this principle yourself by going in your backyard and listening for birds. They'll be in the trees. You might not be able to see them, but you'll be able to hear them. And if you get really good and can recognize their song, you'll be able to actually identify the species. We do this same exact thing with instruments in the ocean. Listen for the sounds of whales. They send us information about those sounds, and then we determine what species are present, including the critically endangered North Atlantic right whale.
So this is kind of like an Alexa underwater here. It's hearing this stuff and it's sending the information back. Now, the continental shelf, that's really shallow, and that's where a lot of these whales are getting hit by ships. How does this information go to the shipping companies, and how are they avoiding the whales?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we share, when we detect animals, whales, we share that information with a number of different stakeholders, including the U.S. federal government. The government has a program called Slow Zones for Right Whales, in which they put out a notice to mariners to let them know that right whales are in the area. They establish these areas where whales have been detected, where they request that ships slow down in these areas because of the presence of right whales. We know that ships slowing down to speeds of about 11 miles an hour or less is much safer for the whales than faster speeds, and that's the speed limit that the federal government asks ships to slow down to.
Well, there's a new study out today about kind of humpback whales, not the right whales, humpback whales. They're having issues because of the water temperatures are rising due to climate change. So are we having any issues with the right whales? You know, the humpback whales, they're breeding and feeding areas that's getting too warm for them. Are we seeing the same problem there?
Absolutely. The biggest threats to right whales right now are ship strikes, as we've talked about, fishing gear entanglements, getting entangled in ropes associated with trap fishing that catches lobsters and crab, and also climate change. Climate change over the last about 10 years, a little more than 10 years, has significantly changed where we find right whales along the east coast of the United States. In fact, in 2010, there were almost 500 right whales alive. Today, because of ship strikes, fishing gear entanglements, and the stresses of climate change, we're down to only 336 animals. That's about 250 animals that have died in the last 10 years. And climate change is playing a role in that decline.
Well, Mark, we appreciate what you guys are doing to try and protect the few that we have out there and help pick up this species. Mark Baumgartner, the senior scientist and marine ecologist at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. Thank you for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.